Jai Gurudev students, today is the next part of breathing and exchange of gases, and today's part is mechanism of breathing. Actually, breathing involves sending fresh air to respiratory organ, which is known as inspiration, and expelling of air from them is known as expiration. Mechanism of breathing involves the alternate expansion and contraction of chest cavity is called respiratory movement. It is so because cavity called respiratory movement, and because it is anatomical setup of the lungs in the thorax in such a way that is change in volume of thoracic cavity causes change in the pulmonary activity of intrapulmonary pressure, and this helps in breathing. The respiratory frequency at rest varies from individual to individual. It is about 12 to 16 times per minute in an adult man. Respiratory movement involves two phases, inspiration and expiration. As all of you know, inspiration, it involves, that is, intaking of fresh air in the alveoli of the lungs. It includes the muscles contraction, so it is active process, and these are two type of inspiratory muscles. One is radial muscles of diaphragm and another one is external intercostal muscles. Okay, and this muscle extends, first one, that is the radial muscles. These muscles extend from diaphragm to ribs and vertebral column, and when this contract, the diaphragm is flattened. And external intercostal muscles, these are 11 pairs of muscles and present in between 12 pairs of rib, and when this contract, the rib are pulled upward and outward, so thoracic cavity increase dorsiventrally and laterally. As both type of inspiratory muscles contract simultaneously, the thoracic cavity increase in all direction, and this expands the lungs, which decrease the intrapulmonary pressure than the atmospheric pressure by 2 to 6 mm. To equalize this pressure, the fresh air rush into the lungs and through the respiratory tract, and this is called inspiration. In normal inspiration, about 0.5 liter, that is 500 ml of air is inhaled into the lungs in the period of the 2 seconds of inspiration. The exchange between oxygen of air and carbon dioxide of blood of pulmonary arterial capillaries take place at the alveoli, and the air becomes foam. Okay. So this is a diagram, that is sternum, which is present in our that is chest part, sternum, and these are the ribs, and these are the vertebral column, and during expanded form the position of the sternum will be like this, and the muscles which are present for their activity, expansion and contraction takes place, and these are the that is diaphragm. This one is external intercostal muscles, and this one is internal intercostal muscles. So this diagram is very important one. There is a mechanism of breathing in man. So this one. Next part is, that is expiration or inhalation. It involves the expelling of air out of the body, and during rest the expiration is a passive process and simply involves the relaxation of the inspiratory muscles. It is aided by the recalling power of the, that is, it recool as a recalling power of the lungs and thoracic wall. This decreases the thoracic cavity, but during the forceful expiration, two expiratory muscles also help in expiration. Then abdominal muscle, some muscles which are present, this extended from the ribs to the abdominal organ. Then internal intercostal muscles. These are of 11 pairs of muscle present between the ribs. Okay, and the main pathway, that is alveoli to the alveolar duct, bronchus, then bronchi, trachea, larynx, glottis, pharynx, nasal chamber, nostril, then it's come out outside. Okay, this one is the path. So this diagram, that is the mechanism of pulmonary gas exchange inside the lungs. Okay. So diffusion, by diffusion, that is oxygen enter in red blood cell. So these are the red blood cell from the pulmonary artery, red blood cell diffused, and carbon dioxide, again it will enter into the lungs, and this carbon dioxide then pass through the nasal cavity. Okay, these are the red blood cell, and then to the pulmonary vein. So this diagram is also very important one. Here is some terminology you have to remember. This is spirometry. It is the process of recording the changes in the volume movement of air into and out of lungs, and the instrument used for the purpose is known as spirometer. Then pulmonary volume. Pulmonary volume are the quantities of air the lungs can receive, hold or expel under different condition. Pulmonary capillary. So I will give you the photograph. I think no need to explain all these things. From the definition it will be clear to you, but these are very important one.